kind of speechless again. It's the night of the speechless talks after the performances. We have seen a very intimate, compelling performance already tonight, but yours was equally wonderful, and also I was really touched. It's very personal for me because my mother is disabled, and there was one point when you lifted her and started dancing with her. It was when I really started crying, because I know firsthand how all these challenges of being disabled, like bumping into limits constantly. How did you go through this during the dance? Did it help you somehow in the dance that you have to be creative about your moves? You have to find new ways of moving all the time. Susanna, can you please? Okay, I try to put it simpler. So, how do you started to dance first of all? How did you think, or how did you come to dance?
My movement is blocked by the
limits.
Limits. Sorry.
Yes.
And I'm looking for freedom, and I find the freedom in this performance and in the swimming pool.
As you say, we didn't really work on dance, but more on the movement.
Yes.
Movement which is functional, which is not aesthetic but functional.
Mm-hmm. So did the choreography start from basic movements? Like in the first scene we see you are moving your feet, like mechanically, not like dancing on your feet. Did the choreography start from basic movements to dance?
Well, just the beginning of the piece, we wanted to just didn't show from the beginning that there will be somebody on the wheelchair, so that's why we started on the floor, and the movements comes from Alena. She just show us what she can do, and then we just try to make a little bit of structure, put the movements together, and that's why it was like this. And by the time you wanted to show that there is wheelchair which is necessary for her, how to move in a space, and that it's a part of her life.
Because Alena has a specific quality of movement, and we were curious in aesthetics and in different timing, and we were trying to imitate her the best as we can.
Mm-hmm. And how did you come to the idea at all to dance with disabled people? Did you already have something in mind, like you want to show how cooperation can work, or how people can come to a harmony, or just dance together?
Because we somehow found that some limits can be kind of interesting starting point for something new, for to open in other spaces what we didn't know before. So it was kind of, that's why. And we were interested, as Peter said, some new aesthetics, or also some approach to beauty of the woman or something like that, and maybe beautiness.
Peter, you were the only man, and you were flirting with all three women all the time, and it was lovely to see how this was structuring the performance. You dance with one and drop the other one. It was like juggling with the three women all the time. How did you feel about this?
Very good.
It's just what we experienced and what Alena said many times, that men, they always choose the healthy woman in the end. But of course the woman with handicap is somehow tempting because it's automatically submissive.
So you use this as some kind of idea to put in your piece, this experience of Susanna, or this is from Alena? Yeah. Do you use your own experiences from your life in this piece?
Yes, I think so. One time was questioned, is it this performance for me psychotherapy? And I think it's yes, therapy.
And you also showed a kind of greater context, how society or how the others behave towards the handicapped people. Like there was a lot of ignorance in your attitude, in your dance, and also this mocking as well. Like how comes you cannot stand up? You can do this on your feet. How did you feel when you did this choreography?
Well, we were trying to point also the problem of help, and that it's not always easy to help, because if you don't have any experience, or if you don't want to listen to the people, you can do worse than better. And it's always very easy to close your eyes and don't see any problems, or to help so hard that you really can do something bad. So I felt bad.
You felt bad? You felt bad about your attitude in the piece?
I don't think I behaved nice in this, or this role.
Character.
Yeah, character.
Peter, what is your opinion?
To me, it's about the difference between helping and rescuing. And of course, we were brought up to rescue the others, and we were rescued by parents and by whoever. So somehow to wait till the one who needs help will ask for help, it's kind of hard. And sometimes you feel bad, but it's good to wait, because quite often the biggest help is not to help.
I found that especially wonderful in your piece, that you gave the opportunity, the freedom for them to move just like you do. When you lifted them, like, and you have them move without, I mean, I'm trying to explain. So you made them feel like healthy people, just like you are. Am I right? You could dance in some parts of the choreography totally like a healthy person, and there was no trace of being different or your disability.
I think that the main topic was that we didn't want to. We wanted to change our point of view and do not divide people in between healthy and disabled. So I can say yes for your question, because from my opinion is that they are like this, it's okay. And you don't have to behave like somebody else, or what's better to feel like you are. So, but I think I agree somehow with you. But maybe it's more a question for Zuzana.
It's like above integration, like it's not about integrating disability into healthy norm, but about inclusivity, like to realize that we all have handicap.
Somebody from the audience would like to ask something or give a feedback to the artist.
One part when you three were living together, you remember, I think it was the strongest part, because it itself had a window to the outside world.
So, you want me to repeat?
Yes.
Okay, so when with the wheelchair woman and you two, we were living together, and you were starting up a new life together, it seemed like. And visibly you were enjoying it a lot. And I was enjoying it a lot, and it was much like a movie for me. And this is, of course, the whole performance was wonderful for me. This is when I realized what your point was, because this is when I became part of the show. This is what I had as a feeling. I enjoyed. Okay?
Somebody would like to say something?
Thank you very much for the whole performance. It was very good for me to see. For me, it was much more. For me, it was at the beginning and through the whole about the friendship and helpfulness, and that everybody can do anything if he or she wants. There are no barriers, there are no borders which can limit the people. It was fantastic for me. Děkuji.
Yes?
When you played in the Czech Republic, what is the most frequent reaction of the public? Is it rather this kind of speaking or thinking on disability, on psychotherapy, or is it they are perceiving it as dance without any? Which kind of perception is more often? Yes, is it perceived as dance more often, or as something which is special and speaking on topics of disability and of illness and so on, and integration, so, or an aesthetic or a social or other social approach which you see is more often or more obvious for you? Jestli tomu rozumíte, jako jestli to víc přijímá jako jako z estetického pohledu, jako prostě tanec nějaké, jako představení, anebo jestli se víc setkáváte s tím, že se to rozebírá z pohledu nějaký psychoterapie, z pohledu vozíčkářů, invalidity a tak dále. A nebo obojí dohromady.
I think both, and it depends on the audience. And that's true that very often comes a lot of people with any, I don't know, disabilities, so it depends. But both, hopefully.
Yeah, still the theme of disabilities hanging over it like a bit of taboo, and people are afraid if they can ask and if they can say, for example, I didn't like it, or it was too much for feelings, or there is still some untouchable thing around it. Like, I have a feeling people don't approach it enough as a artistic piece, like one of artistic pieces, and it doesn't matter there is inclusivity or disability on stage.
So you feel this taboo is everywhere there, yes? A little bit to be afraid to ask and so on.
And you're also afraid to say, I don't like it also.
Yeah.
You can say it.
Okay, thank you very much for this wonderful performance. I think it was something we can think about for a long time, and it was equally, I think it was both making us think about ourselves and also our own disabilities, maybe. And it was also a beautiful, very wonderful dance. And thank you very much. It was a pleasure to see you. Thank you.
And before we leave the theater venue, and as these are my last words, as you were the chosen to finish our festival, and thank you for the performance. I would like to ask my partner Zsolt to bring a surprise to Orsi, who did a lot of job with these discussions. Thank you, Orsi, for your help and patience. And while the festival was happening, there was a critic laboratory is working on, and Orsi and Zita was working together, and they chose partners to work with. So Zita, also thank you very much for your kind help with all the translations and every work. Thank you, we really appreciate it. So actually, I would invite everybody downstairs to meet, so you can change and take your time. Of course you need it, but we are waiting for you downstairs.
And MAKT and Zsolt, thank you for organizing L1danceFest 2014. Thank you!